people that want to come down and they want to protest at the court and they want to protest peacefully. We have more police presence here than anyone's ever seen. For blocks, you can't get near this courthouse.
I don't even know where to begin.
Yeah, that's a constant challenge, fact-checking Donald Trump, Anderson. Only Donald Trump could bring a crowd-sized lie to a criminal trial.
So that was a lie.
And the first of many, as a panicked Trump showed up to the Manhattan courthouse where he is facing 34 felony counts and ran straight to the cameras, going on a long, lie-filled rant only to get immediately fact-checked and shut down on all his crazy claims. Like how he's gonna win New York, I guess?
And they all want us to run, and we're gonna run very hard in New York. New York, we have a good chance of winning New York, in my opinion. We're going to give it a shot. And I think we have a good chance of winning New York. We're going to give it a big play. We're going to the South Bronx to do a rally.
Bold claim there, Don. You couldn't even flip Arizona in the last election. And it sure doesn't seem like New Yorkers are feeling a whole lot of love for you these days.
New York hates you. We will have so much winning that you may get bored with winning.
Well, Donald, it sure seems like New Yorkers have gotten a little more than bored with you winning so much. But that won't stop Trump from definitely, maybe, holding a rally at Madison Square Garden.
We're going to be doing a rally at Madison Square Garden, we believe. We think we're signing Madison Square Garden to do it. We're going to have a big rally.
So that's what he's talking about. We think we're going to have a big rally in Madison Square Garden. By the way, there was another rally that was held in Madison Square Garden in the 1930s by Nazis who were also using the label about making America great again and some of the same iconography that Trump and MAGA are using. Maybe that's why his mind went to holding something in Madison Square Garden, or as he says, Madison Square Garden, I believe.
Huh, authoritarian pipe dream or just another bull-faced lie? I guess it could be both, but let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. But of course, Trump couldn't just lie about the crowd size, even though he kept trying to.
The only place that's locked down is this courthouse because they don't want any supporters here. They don't want MAGA here. They don't want anybody here. This thing is locked down like a buttoned-up vest, and it shouldn't be. If they did the same lockdown at Columbia, NYU, and the colleges and universities, you'd have no problem whatsoever. But there, you can put tents up. You can stay as long as you want. But this courthouse is locked down. There's not a person within 5 blocks.
He keeps saying this entire area is locked down. He said there's not a person within 5 blocks. That is categorically untrue. There is a designated protest zone right across the street at a park, literally right across the street from the courthouse. And the fact is that very few, just a handful of pro-Trump demonstrators have shown up. They're not being prevented from going there by police, as he claimed on social media the other day.
He also had to lie about the economy.
The GDP just announces all the way down to 1.6%, and it's heading south. It's going to get worse. Gas prices in California were just also announced at $7.60. Gasoline is going way up.
He said California gas prices were just announced at $7.60. That's something you hear from him a lot. There may be a station or two somewhere in California where that's true. The average, though, today is $5.41, so more than $2 off there.
I think the dollar's in tremendous trouble in terms of currency. This is going to be the standard, and it's going to be the standard with me. With Biden, you're going to lose. The dollar is the standard. That'll be like losing the biggest war we've ever lost.
He also complained about the dollar crashing, as you said. Well, he also complained on social media this week that the dollar had just hit a 34-year high against the yen. So he's complaining from both ends of this. The reality is, Anderson, the dollar is significantly stronger against foreign currencies than it was when he left office.
Not only is he complaining from both ends, he's also spewing crap from them as well.
I didn't fart. And you can't prove that I farted because I've never farted ever, like no one ever didn't fart.
And it's one thing to be incessantly fact-checked by CNN, but it's another thing entirely for even Fox News to have to come in and tout Biden's strong economy.
Let's talk about the job market, because that's really what matters to people. You know, you don't need GDP, your paycheck matters most. And there you've seen growth continue to defy expectations to the upside. Stronger job numbers than have been expected. And again, an unemployment rate that's been below 4% for over 2 years, that's generating real wage gains. On the GDP front this president has a 25-year record when it comes to real GDP growth.
Man, just like in this criminal case, Trump seemingly can't win.
When I was president, we were respected all over the world. We had the best economy we've ever had. Everything was good. We had no wars. We defeated ISIS. We had no wars.
And he repeated his claim, you hear a lot from him, that we had no wars. Now, generously, you can say that he was suggesting he didn't start any wars, but as we know, he certainly presided over a number of wars. He presided over the wars in Iraq. Afghanistan did not fully withdraw U.S. troops, troops in Syria and other countries. So no wars is, at very least, a significant exaggeration.
This is the worst run country right now, probably anywhere, just about. You don't get much worse. We have a president who's a disaster. We have a president who's the worst president in the history of our country. All you have to do is look at the millions of people coming in from prisons, from mental institutions and terrorists. They're coming in at levels we've never seen before.
Tons of people from prisons and mental institutions flooding across the border. There's no evidence of that, and his own campaign has not been able to produce any evidence when I've repeatedly inquired. He said we built 571 miles of border wall. That's more than 100 miles exaggerated. It's 458, including much of which was replacement wall, secondary wall, rather than a new wall in unguarded areas.
God, this guy is a walking, lying, sharding machine. It's honestly hard to tell what's worse, the crap coming out of his mouth or his ass. So I'd place my bet on the latter. But the lying is nothing new. Even though it's great to see him being immediately fact-checked like that, his lying is also at the center of this case, which we saw from David Pecker's testimony. Pecker, who used to lead AMI, which was the parent company of the National Enquirer, went into detail about his arrangement with Donald Trump, wherein they would write stories on behalf of Donald Trump, fake and fraudulent stories, lying about and attacking Trump's political opponents. So Trump could then go out and say, hey, look at this story. Did you see this story about so-and-so? I didn't have anything to do with it. I just read it somewhere. So his entire presidency, hell, his entire political career is based on a mountain of defamatory BS lies.
You sit on a throne of lies.
And when you're that much of a lying douchebag, is it any wonder nobody shows up to your court case to support or defend you?
Yeah, the idea that this whole area, too, is locked down, that nobody can get in and out.
It's not.
I mean, if people wanted to come down and be supporting him, they could be.
Courthouse is open to the public. If Trump supporters want to attend the trial, they can go into the courtroom if they line up early enough. You can take a taxi, an Uber, your own car to the front of the courthouse. It is not fully locked down. So he's saying this to suggest that's why we don't have this massive pro-Trump demonstration. My people can't get close, but they can get close and they're not showing up.
Thanks for watching, folks. If you like seeing Donald Trump getting eviscerated via fact check of his nonstop lies, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, because we have plenty more where that came from. And let us know your thoughts about any of the nonsense Trump said in those comments down below. I'm curious if any of you think these lies are actually getting to the point where they're like truly hurting Trump. Like, obviously there are large swaths of his supporters who won't turn on him regardless of what he says, but it does feel like recently we've been seeing more voices on the right adopting this boy who cried wolf mentality, where they're either not supporting Trump anymore or just not believing a word he says. We appreciate you watching, and if you can, we'd also greatly appreciate your support on Patreon. We are a grassroots funded organization, and YouTube can be very finicky with what videos it allows us to monetize, and we really want to keep bringing on more great hosts and pumping out more great content for you. For Really American, I'm Kenny Hesse, and I'll see you guys in the next one.